Yo, what's good guys, welcome back to another video where today we're gonna be speaking about the Premier League Game Week 18 matches. Got some very solid games, so I'm not gonna hold you up anymore, so let's get straight into the video. We got Man City versus Everton. This game I see being quite tight, so let's get started with Man City. This season has not been the best for them. They're on a bit of a downfall at the moment. I do think they are struggling without Rodri, but I think eventually Pep will figure something out and he will fix it. Now they're sat in 7th place. I've never seen that from Man City in like the past few years, honestly. Ever since Pep was in charge of Man City, this has never happened. They've always been in like the top 4. It's the downfall at the moment. But on to Everton, they're doing not too bad. The results recently have been decent. They played Chelsea in their last game and they got a 0-0 draw, and I gotta say they seem better defensively recently, and they gave Chelsea quite a fight. They had chances to win the game, so my prediction is gonna be a 1-1 draw. Now Newcastle versus Aston Villa. This game's gonna be such a good one, so let's get started with Newcastle. They have been doing not too bad this season, getting some pretty good results, have been playing some pretty good football as well, and a player that I think has been amazing is Isak. He got a hat-trick against Ipswich in their last game, and onto Aston Villa. They have been not too bad this season. Started off the season a bit rough, but their last game they got a huge win against Man City 2-1. John Duran has now gotten starts over Watkins, so I think that's very well deserved because he has been very clinical when he came off the bench. So Unai Emery has finally decided to give him a start, and I don't see anyone taking that spot right now. My prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham. This is going to be a very good game, top game honestly. Let's get started with Nottingham Forest. They've been doing very well this season. Surprisingly, they are in 4th place. Wow. Last game I thought they would have a challenge because they played Brentford, but they won 2-0. Quite a solid result, and Chris Wood just keeps on scoring. This guy, he is on absolute fire. On to Tottenham. They've been on and off, honestly. Like in recent times they have been struggling, currently in 11th place, and their last game they play Liverpool, who are doing unbelievable this season, and they lost 6-3. 9 goals in that game. Amazing. Kulusevski and Solanke, both of them have been quite good for Tottenham in their recent matches, but I see Nottingham Forest winning this game 2-1. On to Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. This should be a pretty decent game, so let's get started with Bournemouth. They have been doing very well this season. Right now they sit in 5th place, which is crazy. They seriously cooked Manchester United 3-0 last game. Semenyo has been great for them, getting a goal in the last game as well, and they're such a great team and a very underrated team this season. On to Crystal Palace. This season it has been a bit of a struggle for them. Recently the form has been not too bad, but in their last game they played Arsenal won 5-1. They had the same amount of shots, but Arsenal were just more clinical on the day, and they've been getting slightly better in terms of form. Crystal Palace have been out of the relegation zone right now, which is a positive. So my prediction is gonna be a 3-1 win for Bournemouth. Moving on to Chelsea versus Fulham. This is going to be quite a solid game, so let's get started with Chelsea. They have been quite good this season, currently sat in 2nd place, playing some very nice football. I can't lie, you gotta say they are playing some free-flowing football, which I am a fan of, and Jackson has been a lot more clinical this season. Palmer's still the main man in the team, dropping deep, creating chances from deep, passes in behind from deep, and he's also pushing forward, getting goals as well. On to Fulham. They have been doing not too bad this season. Recent form has been not bad as well. a lot of draws have been happening for them as well. They have talent in that team and they're playing some decent football. This is going to be a rough game for them. They drew 0-0 against Southampton in their last game. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Chelsea. Moving on to Southampton versus West Ham. It's going to be a very interesting game, so let's get started with Southampton. Sat at the bottom of the table right now, sacked their manager Martin, which in my opinion was the right move. Last game they played Fulham and they drew 0-0, so that was a decent game to get points from. Onto West Ham, they're doing not too bad this season. Their form has been getting better recently, honestly. Last game they played Brighton, who are a pretty good team, and they drew 1-1, and Kudus of course getting the goal. He is probably one of their best players on the team right now, and he might be on his way out of the club very soon, so my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for West Ham. Moving on to Wolves versus Manchester United. This is going to be a good one, so let's get started with Wolves. They have been not too good this season. They have now a new manager in Vitor Pereira. I mean, he's done very well so far. The new manager bounce is in full effect as they played Leicester and they won 3-0 in their last game, and Cunha and Guedes were actually amazing in that game. Onto Manchester United, they have not been too good this season. Even in their recent form, it has been a struggle, but they played Bournemouth and they got cooked 3-0. Ruben Amorim, it's been a bit of a rough start for him at Man United, and also Rashford has kind of been isolated out of the squad ever since he said he is up for a new challenge, so probably due to that. But my prediction is going to be a surprising 2-1 win for Wolves. The next game is going to be Liverpool versus Leicester. This game should be fairly easy for Liverpool, so let's get started with them. They are looking absolutely amazing. The football they are playing is incredible. Mo Salah, this guy is balling out. What a player. He now has 15 goals and 11 assists. Unreal stats. I believe he's the first player in the Premier League ever to get double figures before the Christmas period. Unreal. Now the midfield is looking amazing as well, with McAllister, Gravenberch, and also Szoboszlai in there. He's been amazing recently. Onto Leicester. They're doing not too good, struggling a bit in terms of form right now. They have not won a game in 3 games as well now. Their last game they lost 3-0 to Wolves, and Ruud van Nistelrooy, he needs to figure something out after this match, because I do think they're gonna drop points here, but he needs to figure things out soon. So my prediction, going to be a 3-0 win for Liverpool. Moving on to Brighton versus Brentford. This is going to be such a good game, so let's get started with Brighton. They have been doing quite good, although in their recent matches it has been a struggle. Last game they played West Ham and they drew 1-1. And Ruder and the attack, they definitely need to step up, because the goals recently, they have not been going in. I think they have around 1 goal each game almost, but that's not enough, because they are conceding around 2 to 3 goals in their past 3 matches as well. Brighton seem to be having some trouble scoring goals recently. Onto Brentford. They've been doing quite good, but in recent times they have been struggling as well. Last game they played Nottingham Forest and they lost 2-0, but Mbeumo and Shad have been very key in this team. Thomas Frank for sure, I think he will have something set up and ready to win this match. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between the two. Moving on to the last game of this week is Arsenal versus Ipswich Town. This should be a fairly easy win for Arsenal, but you never know. Now let's get started with Arsenal. We have been doing not too bad. Our form has gotten better in the recent games, and last game we played Crystal Palace and we won 5-1, but a big blow because Bukayo Saka has torn his hamstring, which is devastating, man. He's gonna be out for up to 8 weeks. such a massive player out in terms of creativity, and just he's been getting a lot of our goal contributions on the right side or overall in the team, so that's a huge miss. I think Martinelli is probably going to be playing on that right wing. Now on to Ipswich. They have been struggling this season, and form wise it's been quite rough for them as well. They were not convincing in their last game. They played Newcastle and they lost 4-0. They've got some rough games coming up as well versus Chelsea and Fulham, and Ipswich have got to step it up very soon and get results if they want to like push out of that relegation zone. I believe they're very close, or they're in it already. So my prediction is going to be a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Now thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to subscribe as well. Comment down below all your predictions and I will check them out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.